Well, good morning, and thank you all so much for being here today. This is a very big and important day for our military, for our transportation system, and for our broader San Diego community. I'm joined this morning by Executive Director of SANDAG, Hasan, Ikhrata, as well as Mark Balmer, who is the Executive Director of the San Diego Military Advisory Council. Gentlemen, thank you both so much for being here. Today, we are proud to announce that our Governor, Gavin Newsom, has signed into law Assembly Bill 2731, state legislation written by myself and State Senate President Pro Tem Tony Atkins, and has the potential of saving jobs, creating more jobs, and being a transformational project for our San Diego region. Now, forgive a little bit of history here. This is the history major in me coming out. In late 2018, the U.S. Navy signaled its intent to redevelop the Naval Information Warfare Systems Command, also known as NAVWAR, its Old Town campus situated right behind us. The facility are essentially old aircraft hangars that have been repurposed to house cybersecurity professionals. Now, unfortunately, these facilities have become unadaptable, unsustainable, and therefore incompatible with the evolving missions being carried out here for the Navy. In September 2019, SANDAG and the Navy signed an initial agreement to explore options for the redevelopment of this site, and two entities formalized a revitalization agreement in January of this year. The Navy is currently in the environmental review process through early 2021. Should the Navy elect to continue partnering with SANDAG on this important redevelopment project, AB 2731 now allows SANDAG to streamline certain environmental review processes in order to build a new cybersecurity facility for the Navy, a new central mobility hub linking various transit lines to the San Diego airport. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, an actual transit link to San Diego International Airport, as well as needed housing units and retail space. Now, I want to be clear about the streamlined provisions. AB 2731 requires that any transit hub constructed on this site to still meet the high environmental benchmarks, such as obtaining LEED Gold certification, reducing vehicle miles traveled by 25%, and that the project be greenhouse gas neutral. It permits SANDAG to use the Navy's environmental impact statement as the basis for environmental review, so long as it meets the technical rigor of California's landmark Environmental Quality Act. The bill also provides for a 270-day expedited review for only the Central Mobility Hub, and establishes several requirements for public participation that SANDAG must undertake, to including workshops, electronic environmental documents, and mediation procedures. As we all know, San Diego is a very proud military town. AB 2731 will strengthen the Navy's presence in our city by encouraging them to remain on this site while achieving multiple other community benefits. This bill represents a unique opportunity to protect the existing 5,000 Navy jobs from potential relocation, create a 21st century transportation system in San Diego, and provide desperately needed economic stimulus to our community at a time of recession because of COVID-19. Further, this project has the potential to generate at least 16,000 jobs and provide up to housing for up to 27,000 residents, advancing what is and should be our collective goal of creating thousands of new housing units next to mass transit. I want to express my appreciation to Governor Gavin Newsom for signing this bill into law and for giving our region the opportunity to take advantage of this important partnership. I also want to thank my partner in this legislative effort, Senator Tony Atkins. Nothing gets done without Senator Atkins' help in Sacramento, and her help on this particular bill was transformative. And lastly, I just want to conclude by acknowledging, again, I think the importance of this particular opportunity. You know, the Navy could have moved forward on its own, but instead it saw the value of partnering with the broader community to create a win-win for them and for San Diego. And so what we do here today is signal that many of the good-paying jobs that are right over my shoulder will continue to be in San Diego at a time of great economic uncertainty, when many people don't know how they're going to provide for their family in the next coming weeks and months. This assures that these jobs will be here for the long haul. But then also signals our intent to build a world-class transportation system that is critical for our economy and for our quality of life and for meeting our rigorous climate action plan goals. And lastly, it is a commitment to a city that's going to act like a big city rather than a small town. Gone will be the days that you have to take the trolley and then walk a long distance to get to the airport. You can actually get there on rail. This has been long envisioned, and this is now possible. It is made more possible because of the signing of this bill. And again, my appreciation to SANDAG, to Governor Newsom. And lastly, I want to thank our partners, SANDAG, SDMAC, the Navy, and others who came together. None of these kinds of legislation, landmark legislation, happens without the partnership of many. Many of those individuals are here today, and it's my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, who is one of those individuals, Hasan Ikhrata with SANDAG. Hasan?
Thank you very much, Assemblymember Gloria. Good morning to all of you. Today marks a great victory and a significant step toward remaking and reimagining the future transportation system in San Diego. First, I want to thank Assemblymember Todd, Gloria, and President Pro Tem Atkins. Without them, we would not be here today. Just so you know, similar efforts were tried in LA and San Francisco. They didn't move forward this session. We did. That's thanks to Assemblymember Todd, Gloria, and President Tony Atkins. I also want to thank Governor Newsom for signing the bill. The bill is vital in giving a message that we are ready in San Diego to chart a new future for transportation. A future where our residents will have choices. A future where if they choose to bike, they can do it safely. If they choose to take transit, they can do it in a reasonable time. This is the time when we need to roll our sleeves and move forward. And like the Assembly member said, this is the second largest city in California, the 8th largest in the country, and we need to act accordingly. We need to build a transportation system in the future. I am so grateful to our partners from the Navy because they are truly partners. And I want to mention a couple of people, Joe Stuyvesant, Greg, who's here today from NAVOR. We are working in partnership. And obviously there's a lot of work to do. We're looking at this site to be the site, one of the sites where we develop the largest transportation hub in the western United States. A hub where existing and future planned transit will come in. A hub where people in San Diego who live here and love San Diego will love it even more by working here on site, by living on site, and hopefully coming and entertaining on site. Our goal is faster, fairer, clearer transportation system. We are committed with this bill to what the Assembly member told you, reducing greenhouse gas emission, a gold standard, reducing vehicle mile travel. Can it be done? Of course. Is it easy? No. Are we ready for the challenge? Absolutely. So I want to thank again Assembly member Gloria, President Pro Tem Atkins, and thank our partners from the Navy for at least making this, what behind me, to be the place where we defend the nation in cybersecurity, a more modern place, a place where San Diegans and the rest of the nation will be proud of. This is the kind of project we need to pursue. And I couldn't be more grateful for the civic leadership and for the Assembly member and the President Pro Tem who got us here. Thank you very much for having us, and now it's my pleasure to introduce Khan from SANDAG.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mark Palmer, Executive Director of the San Diego Military Advisory Council, SDMAC, a nonprofit formed 16 years ago to be an advocate on behalf of our local military, those who serve and those who have served, and their families. We work very closely with the military, and we know the military leadership very well. Our advocacy efforts include working with business leaders and elected officials as well to improve the understanding our community has of the important contributions made by the military. SDMAC also works with local universities to produce annual reports that independently document the significant impact from the Department of Defense spending on our local and state economies. Our reports show that more than 340,000 jobs here in our region are tied to the defense budget, and more than 1/4 of our gross regional product is tied to the defense spending here. The Naval Information Warfare Systems Command is a vital military headquarters, but unfortunately it's in bad need of modernization. There are 5,000 jobs right at this headquarters, but our studies show there's another 26,000 jobs here in our region that are here because the headquarters is here. These are good paying, important jobs to our local economy. And their work remains steady even during the ongoing pandemic, while other sectors of the local economy were forced to close. The redevelopment of the NAVWAR site will keep this work here and even enable its growth. The modernization means good jobs, and it's ready to proceed without the need for any state funding. SDMAC would like to thank Assemblymember Todd Gloria for sponsoring this bill and for your leadership in helping keep the NAVWAR headquarters facility here in San Diego. Thank you for your leadership and preserving the many jobs that are directly and indirectly associated with this vital military high-tech command. We also look forward to working with SANDAG on this one-of-a-kind, world-class project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Let me just conclude by again expressing my appreciation to our partners, and I also want to thank the members of my staff. Legislation of this scope and of this size is not easily done. The members of my team were fully committed in Sacramento in the leadership of Eduardo Martinez, my chief of staff, to make sure this bill could get through, as well as Randy Wild from my team, who's worked closely with the community here to keep them informed of what we were trying to accomplish and make sure that as much of their input was included into this legislation. You see it reflected in the final document. I have an incredible team. They did this work under the most difficult of circumstances as we all grapple with the pandemic, so I wanted to express my appreciation to all of them. With that concludes our announcements. I'm happy to take questions one-on-one afterward, and I appreciate you being here to mark this important day for our city. Let's keep these jobs in San Diego. Let's build a world-class transportation system. Let's move our city forward. Thank you all very much.